Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Maker 2 weekly race. I think I need to work on my Fox Italian accent there. Okay, Professor Render, would you like to do any better?
No, I can't really add on to that, honestly. But hello.
Probably for the best, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome everyone. We have got ourselves, it looks like 6 racers available, of which we're right now showing 4 on stream: Sergeant Snivy, Owlglass, Germ Dove, and Zero Planes, as we are about to enter our traditional trifecta of Mario content.
Immediately, we're starting things off of perception, reception, deception.
3 things to watch out for: Mario 3 level, 3's Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Maybe. I don't really want to go into too deep into that, but I should really point out the one in the bottom right corner of the screen, Zero Planes. He is your runner-up from this past SG Live Super Mario Maker 2 tournament.
Yes, I still remember the match when they went up against Snow Bear in the level that should never have been played.
Yeah, that was a chaotic mess, but this level is probably one of my favorite ones from the pack. I like the concept of it where you have the two pipes and it reverses the actual orientation of the play field.
So it's like I'm trying to look at some sort of 3D origami thing here?
Sort of, but Zero Play is going to take the first step here. But this one's a interesting one because the way that the map is set up is that as you enter a pipe, the whole map gets flipped on its head and will do the same thing for each one. And currently, we're looking for a key, which is right here.
Gotcha. Now, for those that are wondering, this is the first of 5 blind levels. The goal is to get through these blind levels as quickly as possible. And then for part 2, we are going to choose 3 of these levels and try to optimize them within 40 minutes. And then at the final part, we are at the mercy of Nintendo.
Yep, this will be an endless expert run through. The number of levels completed will determine our winner. And anytime you get a game over, it is okay. You can continue on because it only tracks the number of levels you can actually cleared rather than a actual streak.
Alright, Germdove and Sergeant Snivy basically high-fiving each other as they're trying to... I'm guessing that's effectively the center of this map where all of those coins are.
Pretty much, because these we're looking for those pink coins. Both Sergeant and Germdove have at least 2. Germ's going to pick up his 3rd.
And something I can't help but notice, I don't think I've seen a power-up yet in this level.
Yeah, there is no power-ups here, and Germdove takes the first map of the race.
Alright, I also wish to thank Bob McName for making Perception, Reception, Deception.
Pretty fun one.
As we now move on to what looks like Chili Billy Bustle. Or, right, Germdove has to wait a little bit for this, I think. I may be mixing up the rules between the different rounds right now, I admit.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it was a crazy race, though, but we are heading ahead. This is going to be Chili Billy Bustle, created by Dobbs.
And we're staying with Mario 3, and looks like Owlglass can soon join Germdove.
Love the use of that icicle during when the patch before the patch of the icicle where it used to be global ground.
Oh, wait a second. They removed that?
Yeah, it's now no longer global ground. It's no longer considered a global ground.
I bet Steve Gaming will be disappointed to hear that.
I mean, all the maps that before they had global grounding retain this normal state, but any maps that now use global ground, use icicles, will not be considered global ground. But German Dove does finish off Chili Billy Bustle.
And Owlglass, I think, wanted that one up, but in this case, not this time. Sergeant Snivy now finishing the Ghost House, while Germ Dove going through a speedrun level, Summit run by the Taco Princess.
It's a new soup level.
A new soup level filled with ouching spikes, smiling claws, but I'm not seeing any shiny yet deadly coins. Well, there's a shiny coin, but it's not deadly.
I mean, I think you're getting it confused with ouching saw blades.
Well, whatever you call it, it's still ouch. Back to the start.
Yep. But Hourglass also on Summit Run.
Yeah, we're approaching near the top, but not a lot of time. Oh, is that enough?
Yep.
Alright, so something I'm genuinely curious about, is any time taken away from when you exit the pipe to touch the flagpole, as we are now entering the Hot Potato Run?
I don't believe it is. Time freezes once you enter a pipe, and this looks like the final one, or at least the fourth one at least, is a Super Mario World level.
Yep, we have a bomb, we have a block. We must put them together. Or not.
I think the idea of this is that you have to hold on this bomb and make sure you go in the doors, because that resets the bomb's timer. You're gonna hold it on to the very end. And that's how you do it.
Now that is an interesting mechanic.
That is actually something that is a really nice mechanic. I like the concept of it. You use the doors to reset the bomb's timer. That's very handy.
Uh-oh. Almost out of time.
Yep.
And, well, that just puts, you know, I guess new meaning to, the Hot Potato song.
Yep, and all it really is, it's a... Oh, okay. Very interesting. Looks like you have a bit of a Kaizo sort of mechanic here with the saw blade and those tracks telling you, okay, point up, shoot the bomb up, and then shoot to the right, or something like that.
And Germ Dove fell for it as well. In the meantime, Sergeant Snivy enters the pipe at 0, still gets the flagpole.
Meanwhile, Zero Planes continues his summit run.
Alright, Germ Dove... Nope, one more screen.
Oh, I see what you gotta do.
Yep, toss up, grab the vine, jump off, kick it to the right, and enter your gold tape of happiness.
That's really neat.
And... Oh!
I mean, the
I
best
think-
thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The best thing about this level is that there are plenty of ways to reset to the next checkpoint after you lose the Bob-omb.
Yeah, you don't have to pause and hit start over, which is a nice thing here.
Mm-hmm. And Alcaz gets it.
Now, any more, or is this it?
And that's it.
Alright, thank you, Mega J, for that rather unique level. Now, just one more left for the blind section. The Castle Run, another new Super Mario Bros. Level. This one... Is this also by the Taco Princess?
It looks to be so. And this is going to be another one of those speedrun courses. Kind of in a similar vein as the Summit Run.
I kinda... So, one of the things that I've noticed, we had, 2 SMB3, 2 New Soup, 1 Mario World. Now, I admit, I don't get to watch these all the time, but how often do we get Mario Bros. Classic levels?
It's pretty rare because of the way that New Super Mario 1 is very, very limited in terms of actual abilities.
Oh, Hourglass getting a lava bath. And so we've basically had 2 levels where precise wall jumps are needed. And you do not get a lot of time. And
Much of a lava? Oh.
that coin, I think, was trying to indicate that you are supposed to ground pound there.
See if Alcaz actually gets the hint from that. Oh, Jern Dove. As Sergeant Snipe is doing his run through the tower, and that's actually, yeah, that is the call.
And it looks like Hourglass learned as well.
Alcaz cutting it close there with that for the door.
But then saw another coin and forgot about the signal. So, as someone who's only made some very basic levels that are more, I guess, beginner-friendly, how do you decide which objects to use to communicate which actions, especially if you only have, say, 1 or 2 columns worth of room to put stuff in?
Typically, you would use something like tracks to indicate either you want to throw something up there, or like throw something, or some sort of indicator of where you want to like position yourself. Coins indicate something like either a jump or sort of jump or a wall kick or whatever. And sometimes you'll often use things like coins to, of course, a lot of coins you use for indicating a lot of different things. Arrow signs, of course, being a pretty clear indicator from that's like intended, but there are other ways to make things work.
Oh! Sergeant Snivy gets ouchies. And was very close to the end, I think.
So was Hourglass, too.
Zero Planes, I'm guessing struggling a little bit playing Hot Bomb here. Don't feel too bad. I wasn't that good at Mario Party 1.
Nice. Oh, Germ Club was very, very close to the end, kind of past the 3rd section, I would imagine.
Yeah, these speedrun levels... Oftentimes, the margin of error is very small. And depending on what levels our runners decide on, I don't know if they're going to spend that much time necessarily trying to optimize these speedrun levels.
Yeah, I mean, these you can only do so much in a speedrun level, and the only like possible optimizations at all are just very, very minor things, just in terms of execution. At the most, it has to do with Germ goes sees the anchor and just dies. But we're not back on the speedrun thing. That this in terms of optimization, you again only the most minor things about it in terms of optimization. It has to be execution and probably how fast you perform the actions entirely.
Alright, I'm focusing on Hourglass now.
Ooh.
I am no longer focusing on Hourglass right now. And yeah, right there by Germ Dove. We have to be well-oiled plumbing machines at this point. And very soon, Zero Planes is about to join them.
Making a pretty decent comeback now. Everyone's on the castle run. Oh.
Alright, Zero, let's see how you handle this one. Oh, that was cutting it a little close. And alright, both Hourglass and Germ Dove are in the final section.
Oh!
Did we suddenly gain instant replay here? Because that looked like the very same death.
And it looks like there were like a few pixels off to the left of that spike.
Oh, Sergeant Snivy! Just about there!
Nails it!
Sergeant Snivy is your first amongst the featured 4 to complete all 5 levels.
Definitely give Sergeant Snivy a GG. And we'll continue on our trek in terms of making decent progress so far in this castle run.
Alright, Germ Dove approaching the final part once again.
Nails it.
Alright, Hourglass wants a piece of it, gets the wrong piece.
Zero Plane's trying to be a little bit clever with this play over there, just trying to wall jump off the one-ways, but no, it does not work. Yes, those one-way balls are contribute to the any limit, but any limit B rather. But they will not help you here. You have to do this. Just go the intended way.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing any shortcuts that we can take here. This is just execution. And oh! That looked like a time over. Again, The margin for error is very small here.
Yeah, you have to do this all in one perfect go.
Alright. Go ahead.
Looks like he's in a good position here. He's going to continue on to that one section that has been giving him a little bit of trouble. He needs a wall ground here. Oh!
A little bit too much to the right there.
Yeah.
Okay, minor thing, but I noticed Hourglass's timer when he entered this new room before the death. I think Zero Planes is getting there generally quicker. Because I think we ideally want 24 on the timer. 23 is okay, we got 23 there. But again, we're talking a very small window here.
Yeah, the best optimal way of making that 24 is just ground. It looks like the ground pounding, if you know, on like the best, like the first possible moment.
I think that was a late ground pound by Hourglass, but still alive.
Only 5 seconds on the clock.
5 seconds should be doable here.
Nails it.
5 seconds was enough.
Yes, I'm a winner.
Now we're just waiting for Zero Planes, along with, I think, one other runner.
Oh, a little too late from Zero Planes getting hit by the lava.
You know, I just can't help but notice, this level is not multiplayer friendly. You notice how all the transitions are doors?
Oh, definitely not. Especially with the fact that there's also lava that's rising.
Well, the reason I mentioned the doors is because we're not transitioning to another screen. We're transitioning to the same screen, just in a different location. Which means that lava's just going to keep on going up. And I don't know if it ever resets.
In multiplayer, I don't believe it does.
So, folks, if you ever somehow get this level as a multiplayer level, immediately replace it.
Zero Planes is about to end up his finish up. He's only got a second of the clock though. It might not be enough.
No, it's not.
A tad too slow.
Okay, that lava's getting a little scary and close here, but I think Zero Planes is on good pace. Five seconds. Just keep the time up, and you've got this. Ooh, that was a little closer than I'd care to admit.
That was way too close, but Zero Planes manages it.
And let's see if there is one other. I think there's one other off-stream runner right now that is still participating. So we may as well at least use this time to talk about what is coming up next. Professor?
So now is the time for the second match, the second part of this, where you have to get the best time on select 3 courses out of the 5 that you just saw, and you have 40 minutes to allocate as many time as possible, or at least 20 minutes on each level in between a short break.
Now, I do not know what those 3 levels are going to be yet, and I would prefer to be kept in the dark, personally. But if I was to be a betting man, I suspect that it's going to be Perception, Reception, Deception, Chili Billy Bustle, and Hot Potato Run.
Yeah,
Chat,
with this.
what do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, with the speedrun levels, you can only do so much that there's very, very, very little chances to optimize the speedrun.
Now, there are some speedrun levels that can work out, but in this case, the times are so tight that it may not really work. Taco Princess, I mean, don't get me wrong, I kind of liked watching your levels. You certainly don't want me to play them myself, but I am curious as to how time can be shaved off of these.
Yeah, and there's very, very few things that can be changed. The only thing that's possible is just execution, better execution.
Looks like Sergeant Snivy is just choosing to warm up a little bit, but wait, we didn't have any new Super 3D World stuff here.
No, there was no 3D worlds. And that's interesting because a lot of the 3D world elements are very interesting. They could be potentially. There are also some nice levels that use this kind of speedrun mechanic, like for those. So.
Also, I am well aware that I got the title wrong. It's supposed to be just Super Mario 3D World. And Hourglass right now getting a wall jumping muncher level. It's as if someone turned 7-7 from Mario Bros. 3 on its head or something. Now, of course, there is one possible disadvantage with all this practicing. The third part of this competition is endless, and for all we know, if any of these happen to be good levels to speedrun through, well, they've just been taken out of the queue for them.
Yeah, it really depends on how lucky these runners can do, but since they're warming up for the next like 20 minutes or so of that run, better just to get it out of the way than just probably regret not doing a warm-up to start up with, but warm-up is always nice, so there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Especially when you get a world record like Hourglass just did.
Or maybe pick a pipe level that leads you into a bunch of thwomps that crush you.
Ew. There we go. More traditional speedrun level. Now remember, folks, these endless runs that our runners are doing right now, they are not part of the actual scoring. This is just warm-up. Ooh, Sergeant Snivy, currently, blocked. Though, maybe I'm mixing up my game physics. I thought you could always, use, Goombas to spin the blocks.
Maybe, but apparently one of our chat members, Knock, is saying that it's in Super Mario World.
Alright, so my memory is kinda there.
Yeah, we're talking about vanilla Super Mario World and not Mario Maker 2.
Oh, what did Owlglass draw up here?
You made it.
In the meantime, Cartridge Blowers, our last participant, is on your bottom right, trying to get through the castle run.
Let's go.
Gets 23 right on like just the tip of his tongue, like as soon as he gets it, but
Oh, and ground pound's a little bit too much to the left.
yeah, that's gonna do it.
Owlglass, do be careful. Oh. Well, this is Oh, that's an evil setup. Actually heading into the volcano. And... oh no, Cartridge Blowers entered at 4 seconds. There may not be enough time. No. In the meantime, Sergeant Snivy is riding some waves. And Owlglass gets a record on a volcano level.
That's a really neat visual effect from that level there. That's really, really cool.
I think the effect is only a few months old by now.
Oh, really? I haven't been paying attention. It's been kind of a while since I played Mario Maker 2.
It's at least 1 or 2 months old. Alright, come on, Cartridge Blowers, you can do this. I mean, it's as we've said multiple times here. Execution is paramount in order to get through this blind segment. And right now, the timing is just very tight. Alright, that's a better time for cartridge blowers. 5 seconds is enough to get through as long as you're perfect. Oh no, that's not gonna work.
Oh no!
And chat also providing appropriate feels. Oh, hi there, Big Bowser. How are you doing today?
Joy.
Alright, cartridge blowers. 5 seconds, entering the final part. Jump, jump. Running it!
There you go. I'll do it.
And thus, I believe that is everyone.
Phew, made it. Let's go.
And now we are waiting for the decision for which of our 3 levels will be rerun multiple times for efficiency. I think Hourglass wants us to just get one more record.
Yeah, just very antsy about that world record.
Well, I don't know how one can easily get a world record on this chaotic level. Alright, I think our runners have received the list of levels by now.
And it looks like one of the first ones is going to be Perception, Reception, Deception, and Chili Billy's Bustle.
And the third one, shall we reveal it or wait?
A little bit of a break here, waiting for these runners to get the signal that we can now start their timer.
It looks like we do have some. I think some of these faces are at least newer, so they're just trying to make absolutely sure that there are, no issues with the rules.
Yep, and looks like most of these runners are either going to be doing perception, reception, deception, and another half of them are going to be Chili Billy Bustle. This does include Zero Planes and Germ Dove.
Okay, we are receiving confirmation right now. It looks like we are going to go back to the format that was done previously.
Yep, we're going to be running 40 minutes on the clock, and each one of the runners are going to allocate as much time as they can to get a good time on any of the records, on any of the 3 levels that we've seen here. And one of them is going to be perception, reception, deception. Going to be
Professor, older format. No. We're going back to the classic style for part 2. I don't know if the remotes have been, if the remote commands have been updated yet.
Oh, really?
So let me explain this. So, for those that remember how this was done at least a few weeks ago, especially before SG Live. So
Oh, yeah,
the 3
that one.
the 3 levels that our runners have been given, they will be optimized in turn, 15 minutes per attempt. And in this case, you have to spend 15 minutes on one, then you move on to the second, then you move on to the third.
That's right. Now I remember now.
I am starting to wonder if we are starting to mix up possible, weekly formats versus SG Live formats here. Because I could have sworn that the format you were describing was done at SG Live.
Yeah, that was the one where you allocate time and you have a 40-minute period globally, and you have time to allocate into 3 different levels. But this one is going to be just our standard weekly format, not the SG Live format.
Right now, I'm just making sure that all of our runners are good. I see some of our participants are trying to get some last minute, what's the cool term that people use these days? Smack talking?
Probably.
So, once we enter part 3, some of our runners may choose to actually enter Twitch chat at this point, but technically we are still in a seated format, so no peeking. And I think we're just waiting for one more. Alright. I am seeing a countdown being given, which means we will soon see our runners take off. 15 minutes of optimization will begin shortly. And while we're at it, there is a straw poll link in chat for you to vote for the favorite level of the week. I want to say the highest voted level may receive a bonus, Professor?
Yep, that is true. They will receive cash prizes.
Ooh.
We're starting off the 15-minute run. Starting things off with perception, reception, deception.
Alright, we do have a timer on Owlglass's stream, so that's going to help us a little bit. Remember, it's 15 minutes in order to get your best time. You can, take deaths all you want, you can replay it as many times as you want, but it's the best time to get to that goal card. So here's hoping our runners remember how to navigate a 3D or... Is this actually 4D space now?
I believe... I guess it's 40 space, or probably 15, I don't know.
So that is correct, Snow Bear. We are now playing 3 levels that have already been beaten before. They're just trying to get the fastest time on them.
Yeah, it's all about the fast times and the that's the goal here. And I see there was, I believe, okay, no, I was mistaken there. There was something I was going to say, but that wasn't the case. So,
Ooh, Zero Planes get squished.
ow.
Yeah, fun fact, Buzzy Beetle shells kinda hurt. And so far, I don't think any of our runners have actually placed a finish yet.
Not yet.
But Germ Dove is about to be the first. 367 in-game time. What does that translate to? 1:10:689.
That's a really respectable time, and only by a few milliseconds off the actual world record. So there is a ultimate speed element to here that's definitely leads you to the possibility that we can hit it much, much lower. Probably a factor of having to optimize that pink coin setup, that one pink coin section. Ooh, Sergeant Snipe, so he gets sniped from above.
Alright, Hourglass hitting the checkpoint. And needing to go back to the checkpoint.
Sergeant Snipe not opting to start over.
May want to at least get at least one time in. I mean, we're already at the 4-minute mark out of 15, and sometimes just getting a time in first and then worrying about all those minute details may make the difference between a place.
Definitely. And one thing I've learned as well is that since checkpoint flags, well, as soon as you hit a checkpoint flag, it keeps the state of the coins that you already picked up at the time before you get the key. If a runner had to die somewhere, they can keep the coins that they had, but not in the case where if they got all 4 coins and they died afterwards, it means that they have to start all over again.
Ah, yes, the one time where the state of death may make a difference. But Hourglass is living 1:08:339 world record!
Very, very nice from Hourglass.
And it looks like Owl is choosing not to post the time yet until the very end, but as long as he's got, as long as he took note of it, it should be good.
You'll see all the runners taking screenshots of their times, that way they can look back and post their best time that they have after the 15 minutes are up.
So really, I think the biggest issue right here is this level may appear fast, at least in-game time-wise. But think about all these transitions we're going through. That easily adds seconds, which means if something were to happen at the very end, we're really losing close to 2.5 minutes per run.
But Hourglass looking like be in a good position here. Getting the third coin.
And there's the 4th, and right by the key door.
I think that is the optimal route here. Hourglass can turn in another time with 352 on the in-game clock, but that will translate into a 47-second time. Wow.
47.04, another world record!
And that was much, much better than the original time that he had posted prior, which was a 108.
And now Hourglass is using reset strats.
At this point, now you have a time like this, you definitely have to consider now if one mistake can potentially ruin the run for that one section. But Germ Dove does turn in a time. His time is going to be 104, and now Germ Dove sees the 47 put up by Hourglass. But Zero Plane is also going to turn in a time of 3:29 on the clock, or 3:23 on the clock, looked like.
That should be about, yep, 1 minute 16.59.
And again, Zero sees the 47 and is like, "Oh, jeez, how did they do that?"
And one of our off-screen runners, Chaos Legion, just got 51 seconds.
So it's definitely possible to get sub 1 minute on this one if you play very well.
Okay, right there it almost looked like Hourglass just double backed or... Oh!
Oh!
You are not given a lot of margin for error here in this optimization portion. Get your time, and then get it improved. Choose carefully whether you want to kill a run just because of a missed jump.
Now, if it was something like 30 seconds, or very, very much lower than that, then yeah, one missed jump or missed thrown item, or missed thrown enemy or shell, that's going to spell the end of that run.
But right now, I don't know if everyone has gotten a finish yet.
But Sergeant Ivy is going to get a finish.
Alright, that's gonna be 59 something because that was 340 on the time. Yep, 59.656.
So now Sergeant Ivy is joining up on the rest of the runners that already had a sub-minute. Now only 5 minutes, like only less than 5 minutes left on the clock.
And right now, Hourglass has a very, not exactly comfortable lead. Again, we have an off-screen runner, Chaos Legion, who's just a few seconds behind, but... right now, we have enough time for, I want to say, 3 complete runs.
Yeah, at this point, you have roughly enough time to get at least for me, in my opinion, 4, or at least at the most 4, at the least probably 3. Really depends on how the runners manage to get through this one tricky jump with that spiny jumping, that one Buzzy Beetle jumping completely down from the ceiling above. Now Zero Play is making it to the second half of the level.
Germ Dove starting again. Now, interestingly enough, I don't think Hourglass utilized shell jumps on this run.
Yeah, the real trick here is that is those shell jumps. Those definitely give you enough height to break most of the level.
I mean, shell jumps help, but as I said, I don't think I recall Owlglass using a shell jump here. Which means that the path that Sergeant Stivey and Germdove are taking, it's actually suboptimal. Oh!
But 0
Not
Planes and Stivey also get the same time, and they're gonna get respectively 54 and a 108.
Uh-oh. Note that new time, 42,506.
Oh, that's
Chaos Legion's.
That's an excellent time from Chaos Legion.
Which means there are some additional ways to optimize that unfortunately we can't easily fit 5 screens on here. Alright, Owlglass trying to hurry through. And Zero Planes following in footsteps.
Only down to a minute left on the clock. But Owlglass is going to turn it another time, coming up right now. .353, that will translate to quite a low time. That'd be 46. Oh, 39 as well from Chaos Legion. Ooh, that's one time, yeah. Owlglass is pretty much stopped. He does not want to go further. That's enough time to end up there, and Zero Planes will also finish up a time. And the countdown clock has stopped.
I really want to know how a sub 40 was accomplished.
Yeah, me too. That is an excellent time from Chaos Legion.
Alright, hopefully our runners get a chance to catch their breath a bit. Because they are soon going to have to deal with the Chilly Billy Bustle. Sergeant showing the picture for posterity.
That's exactly why a lot of the runners are going to be using these screenshots after they get a good time, or at least improve their personal best. Is that way they can actually submit their times afterwards. So a 46 from Owlglass is amazing, but of course that Chaos Legion's 39 is a definite yes.
And I think Owlglass is just trying to figure out what happened.
I want to think about that too, because I have no idea how Chaos Legion was able to get a time that fast than what any of the Forerunners were doing on screen.
Well, according to some possible chats here, there may have been another way to cheese this level that we did not realize. Like going up there?
Possible. There might be a way. That could have been the way. Just probably that shell jump, a really precise shell jump that led you to jump completely up onto that checkpoint flag. That's probably what Owlglass is trying to do here, but ultimately dies. It looks like the next run up on the list, the next level up on the list is Hot Potato Run.
Okay. I think we may have a minor order mix-up, because I think Chili Billy Bustle may come...
And yeah, it looks like after a bit of talks, seems like Chili Billy Bustle is our second one up, and we're gonna leave Hot Potato Run later.
Alright, our runners have received the notice. Which means it is time for another 15 minutes of optimization action. Our runners are just waiting to get started here. Now, this level, from what I saw, this one already goes kind of fast, but it's not because of a tight time or just plenty of room to maneuver. You just have to sometimes be careful of the bullet bill blasters and cannonballs.
Yep, now we're joined by Chaos Legion up in the top right, the top left rather, and we start off Chili Billy Bustle.
And... oh, Bonsai Bill, forgot about that.
Yeah.
Now, I am genuinely curious, what is the mechanism that lets the bullet bill blasters right there before the Bonsai Bill drop down?
Now, the reason why these actually drop down is because the player, when Mario is sitting on a icicle or some form, like when it's close to an icicle, they actually drop, able to drop. But if you put a icicle, a bullet bill on top of an icicle, or at least inside an icicle in this case, at the time when this was allowed, since it is global ground, it was a global ground by the time when this level was made. Its properties are that whenever it gets close by, the bullet bills will drop down once they get close into contact with the icicle, and that results in a lot of different things that can be used to, at the time, could use to make Bonsai Bill doors or a collapsing ceiling.
But then Nintendo had to ruin everyone's fun.
I mean, even then, you still have a lot of crazy, a lot of interesting discoveries about the item limit B being used in conjunction with, oddly enough, one-way doors, and how they are actually super global ground, in the sense that it can actually carry through into different parts of a level. It includes sub-levels.
You may want to talk a little bit more about these limits, because I keep on hearing a lot about Entity Limit B, but I don't recall you mentioning anything about Entity Limit A, or C if that exists.
Now, all I know about is Entity Limit A. I'm not. It's not Entity Limit A. Entity Limit B. Entity Limit A, I will have to do a bit more research about it, but I know Entity Limit B is related to, of course, 100 items. Can only be 100 enemies on the screen at any point during Entity Limit B, and the one-way door happens to be a part of the Entity Limit B. So if you put a lot of one-way walls in a certain like somewhere in the map that's completely off screen, then you can make it so that the player does not that way the player can some things won't spawn until something clears up in the enemy limits. So you'll have like at least 100, well, probably 99 items. Whereas you have a whole 100 items, and then you use something like, I don't know, a key, because that's part of Entity Limit B, that drops on the 99, and you can have something like a bomb that comes out of a pipe. And it can also be used to carry between deaths using the checkpoint flag with a pink coin.
That explanation is surprisingly complicated.
I mean, you're led to believe that it's surprisingly simple, but even then, it's kind of somehow complicated. But no offense to Steve.
Anyway, we did get some finishing times as we were trying to explain that. Sergeant Snivy 31385, Chaos Legion 3280, Zero Planes 34337.
And Hourglass actually turns into another time too at the very end of Chili Billy Bustle, and that time will end up becoming 32919. Ooh.
And Zero Planes 33228. And Chaos Legion improves to 30035. The current world record for this one is 27 seconds, so let's look at the geometry of this level and try to figure out where 3 seconds can be saved. So we have this forced waiting area right here, which doesn't help. And then right there you have to hope for a cannon or bullet bill. And then this part right here, I think you can get a power-up before that bonsai bill. And I'm wondering if it may be faster to take the damage boost, or... No, wait, I'm mixing up in-game time versus real time here, aren't I?
Yeah, in-game time does not matter with the overall in regular time, so if it's possible, you can try and deboost that in order to get some extra time, but as a result, you lose time as a whole, because in-game time is way different than actual time.
Which means the big obstacle right now is being able to kill that bonsai bill before that upper bullet bill causes problems. And then once you're through here... If you jump where the coins are and not too high, yeah, that should be a straight shot.
Yeah, that's really the rest call is, if there's nothing else, then really just comes down to better execution.
Now, I saw Zero Planes trying... Oh! You can run and jump off of that bullet bill blaster without waiting for a bullet bill to spawn. That may be a good time save, but couldn't capitalize on it farther.
Hourglass coming up to the final section of Chili Billy Bustle. Oh, takes the hit on the cannonball.
And again, Zero Planes is at least getting consistent on that jump. Alright, Chaos Legion getting another time. Is it faster? No. Oh, and Owlglass runs into a cannon. What? Okay, did you just see that Bonsai Bill kill by Zero?
I did not catch that, actually.
It was like, jumped up, was coming down slightly, I think. Oh, and I think Zero may have found the secret to all the time waiting. Because didn't have to actually wait for the Bonsai Bill for the cubbyhole. However, if I'm looking at the reported times, Zero has not properly put one in yet. I believe may have had a finish, but right now, knowledge about optimization is on Zero. It's just a matter of executing it.
Yeah, there's that first the first Bill Blaster that can definitely, if you hit your head on the wall, then you have to reset. That's a pretty easy reset because you're not losing a whole lot of time on that, except by maybe like the few seconds in terms of actually doing the transition. But Owlglass is going to turn another time. Oh, overshoots it.
Alright, Zero.
No!
Now Chaos Legion on the final stretch. Nice bounce. Owlglass, this is not the time to leave a comment. And Germdove gets the Bonsai Bill Cubby kill. Well, Cubby-less kill, I should say. Alright, Owl taking the slow but steady approach right now. They'll be the next runner to go for the final gauntlet. Not following the coin trails, but gets a finish. Is this an improvement?
0.9.
29,459 technically is an improvement.
And that's, well, you say that, oh, Germdove, overshoots it, but it's going to turn in the time anyway. Just a little bit of a small overshoot, but then what's his time going to be? 32.095, I would assume.
Yeah, that looks about right. And yeah, Zero Planes knows a way to get the fastest time. It's just... Oh, okay, Zero's now just going to go for it. Accepting the mistake right now. Probably wants to at least get a time in. And Germdove now gets another finish, but was that faster or slower? Looked to be a little slower. And Zero Planes gets 31,375 again. I know that Zero and I think Germdove have found some good optimizations. Owlglass seeing some of them as well. And same with Chaos Legion. They all know what needs to be done. Just can they execute with 3 minutes to go?
And this might be their final, at least 1 or 2 more attempts before we have to close things up here. Zero Planes taking the death onto the Bonsai Bill, but Owlglass is approaching the second half. Oh, takes the death.
It's that red gauntlet that is causing problems right now.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's been keeping Hourglass from turning in any times.
Alright, here we go again. Owlglass and Germdove in the final section. Chaos Legion about to follow. Ooh,
And Germdove gets a time in. And
I-
also Chaos. Oh no, takes a death.
oh.
And time is 31-348.
Alright, there's enough time for 2 to 3 more attempts. Alright, Chaos Legion is up on the red gauntlet now. Follows the coins! Oh, just barely clipped the bottom corner of the gold card.
And after 29, wow.
29,906. But Owlglass is about to approach once again. And looks to be on similar pace.
Yeah, he's only got about a few more seconds to squeeze in another time and gets the clear. And that will be a 29-344.
Which just beats Chaos Legion's time.
When 20 seconds remaining, looks like at this point, since Chaos, we know that it's almost like 30 seconds long. That will be the end of Chaos Legion's run. In addition to the other runners, it's pretty soon. Countdown clock is expiring.
And Owlglass wants to at least finish this level. Does
And-
finish. But I may need a ruling if this one is going to be allowed here. Oh, and it's an improvement too! 29,099.
That is an amazing time. That is a big improvement for Hourglass, but I don't know that this will be able to count. This will be enough, or at least we'll be able to count it.
And likewise, Zero Planes 29,473. I don't know if that'll count. And same with Germdove's 31,449. They started the level before the 15-minute mark, but I don't know if they have to start it before 15 minutes or finish in 15 minutes, or if they're allowed to play out that final attempt. Still, this is where we are going to trust Notch212, who is our scorekeeper. They've been keeping a close eye on the action just as much.
Yeah, he's and Hunsun here, much like a Truckers and Link to the Past randomizer. They are doing an excellent job here. And now we are starting up with the Hot Potato Run.
Alright, I think the times that have been placed on the sheet are official at this point. So, if I'm reading it correctly, those last finishes will count.
Now, that's perfect. So now, onto our final one as we take a little bit of a break to catch our breath. And after we're done with the third and final level, Hot Potato Run, then it's off to the Endless Experts, and that will give you like 20 minutes to do as many levels, clear as many levels as you can, and keeping it on a continuous streak is not. There's no such thing as having a continuous streak for it, but instead having the best, again, as many levels as you can before time runs out.
And it looks like our runners have taken off. Alright, so Hot Potato Run introduced a relatively unique concept, resetting explosive timers.
Yeah, and so with this in mind, the runners are going to have to optimize as many as they're at least optimize the time that they would need to as they're holding the block and not screwing, having the bomb explode in their face. And they're going to move pretty quickly too, because that bomb on timer is rather short, but it's not like very short.
I'm gonna try to actually time how long it takes in order for the fuse to explode. I know the room to look for.
But Germdove making pretty far progress in their pretty early attempts here, but doesn't get the vine clip, the vine trick, or the vine grab.
Also, you have about 4 seconds, maybe 4 1/10 of a second before that bomb explodes. Absolute max limit would be 4 1/4, but again, that's through just very unscientific eyeballing iPhone app usage.
Pretty much. Chaos Legends is going to turn a time. The first one or two get a time very, very early on in this early race. And that time is going to be 41.524, which is another world record.
It hasn't even been 2 minutes yet!
And this goes to show how dominant Chaos Legion is in these weekly races. He's been doing an amazing job. Ooh. Okay, just managed just to get in the door. Had a little bit of trouble. Alquist had a little bit of trouble getting those pink coins. And Hourglass is going to turn in a time.
Nice. But, oh, will this be a record as well? No, 41.701, just 0.2 or so short.
Yeah, that is a really good time still. Like, even then, even it's like very, like a few milliseconds short, it's still an excellent time.
Alright, Germdove completing the first half. but they're still the second. And Zero Planes is about to clock in a time.
And to answer a question, chat, there is a code in the middle of your screen, and if you want to play this map for yourself. So Zero Planes gets a 42350.
I mean, once you are able to solve all the puzzles, then certainly not bad time. Uh-oh, did Zero Planes... Zero Planes, I mean, I may like Dance Dance Revolution as much as the next person, but this is not the time to drop the bomb.
As much as I want to know the reference, Hourglass turns into time. And that time is going to be 4667. That is another world record.
Are we actually going to see a sub 40 this time?
Very likely, because all at this point is that it's just optimizing the movement of that bomb. If you're moving the bomb, and Germ Dove is actually going to turn in a time coming up here, as well as Chaos Legion.
Both get past the gold tape. And their times. 41.6, 41.05. And, oh, Zero Planes kicked it up twice.
Ooh, that's rough. Hourglass gonna keep doing their things, and Chaos Legion and Germ Dove are going to trade places here. Germ Dove not getting that platform. Hourglass approaching the second half of Hot Potato Run.
Alright, coins gotten. Zero Planes catching up.
It's definitely faster to take the trampolines because they will put you at that fast speed, and that will be another time turn in for Hourglass coming up.
But not a record.
Yeah, somewhere in the high of the upper 260s is going to be enough for another record. But
or
actually,
excuse me, that
Oh,
was a
there-
record. I misread the in-game time.
well, yeah, I mean, upper 360s is even better of a time, so that is another record for Hourglass. Doing really well here, but Zero Planes fires back with 42.
However, this means the time that I was looking for, I think I was fixated on sub 40. Oh, Chaos Legion held it too long. Yeah, I was focused on sub 40 when I made that a premature call. It may be possible.
Yeah, it is very possible if you get at least a 360 or higher, then or not a 360, a 260 or higher, then it's definitely possible. The Germ Dove is going to turn in another time, but it's going to be below 260 by only 3 seconds on the in-game clock. And that'll be a 42.479 or a 478. 478.
Alright, Hourglass. Oh, jumped in a little too soon.
Ooh.
I get why. Trying to minimize the time between explosiveness and getting in.
Yeah, this is having to wait that long of a time once you get the second bomb in its right position is very nice, but you gotta hold off. I mean, hopefully you don't die in the process. You don't want to go like directly into the blast and you'll just die straight up. But Chaos Station is in a position to probably finish this up here and is going to get the time clear. And this time he survives and going to turn in another time of only about almost 10 minutes, at least 5 more minutes to go. It's going to be a 3:59. And that will be a 43.78.
I mean, that would normally be a very solid time, but right now, Owlglass with the world record here.
Oh, definitely, because Hourglass has been pretty dominant on Hot Potato Run in terms of the times that he's been getting. Zero Planes is about to approach the last challenge here and gets it.
And locks in a time. Oh, Owlglass hung back a little too much there on that jump.
And Zero Planes' time is going to be a 42.161. leaving the bomb behind.
Again, this is not the time to drop the bomb. Gotta know your step patterns here, or wait, I have to stop that comparison.
Okay, now you're getting me the impression that this is a DDR reference.
Yes. Third Mix Plus, if you want to know the specific origin.
Okay, that makes more sense, actually.
Oh, Mr. Red Coin. Owlglass has to go again. Alright, Germ Dove approaching the final section. And gets it.
Something's being brought up in the chat, saying that they're saying that there's no time save in the rooms when the bombs explode, because there's a set amount of time after entering the room. Now, this could lead me to the impression that there might not be a definitive way of optimizing the time. Like, you pretty much anything that's not the rooms that you have to wait for the bombs to explode once you deliver the bomb to its intended payload, or at least intended destination, or the final terminus. But so it really just comes down to having optimal execution in any of the rooms that it's not the final rooms for that specific payload.
And oh, Owlglass is not going to improve on the record here and realizes it.
Yeah, the fact that he's got 260 pretty much says that's not going to be a time they want to turn in, especially now that we're aiming for that 260 right now.
And there's enough time for 2 solid attempts at least. That may be at most. Again, there are a number of transitions, and they each take some time to go through. Alright, Zero Planes approaching the end. And gets a time in.
And that's going to be a 260 as well. That could potentially be our world record. Well, that's definitely a world record here. Let's be a sub 39? Yes, it is a
Whoa!
sub 39. A sub 40 rather.
There we go, a new record. Okay, whoever said that in chat, why did you have to make me think of Super Marissa World?
But it's gonna be a 39.993. I would imagine. I thought that's what I said. But
Yep.
a 260 is the optimal time here. Oh, Uncle's just barely getting the 260. Just shy by a few movements there. But will this hopefully be enough to get him farther up? But only just so. Only bordering on that sub 40. They have at least one final attempt here. One solid attempt will be enough.
But is there enough time for it?
It really depends. This is probably going to be their these runners' final attempts as we're approaching the end of time here. And with Chaos Legion's death there, that might just be enough. That might just be it. Yeah, Chaos Legion's not going to go any further.
And that's it for Hourglass as well.
And now, if that is the last of the 3 levels, that's the last of the levels that we have for the optimization part. Now we're going to take a short break, and all that's left is just to go for a wild ride into Endless Expert and let Nintendo decide the fate of these 4 runners.
That is correct. 20 minutes of action. You don't have to worry about continuously beating levels, you just have to beat them as quick as possible. Game overs are fine, but ideally you would like to just get fast levels, beat fast levels.
Yeah, the main goal here is that even if you get a game over, it does not matter. We're only looking for the actual times of these, at least the actual level clears from these runners. And with this too, of only like roughly 20 minutes on the clock for this Endless Expert challenge, they can skip as many levels as possible, but in the process, they will also have a big time loss. They'll have some time lost if they spend too much time skipping levels.
Anything can happen here. So as I'm looking at the scores right now, Chaos Legion looks to have the lead by... Oh, no, sorry, I'm misreading this. Now, Chaos Legion should have the lead right now, yeah? Yeah, Chaos Legion is right now in first, and then it's a tie between Hourglass and Sergeant Snivy. But this is still anyone's game.
This can really come down to the wire here. Really depends on what happens in this Endless Expert challenge.
Alright, runners are getting ready.
So, for those who are joining in, this is going to be the third part of our Mario Maker 2 weekly race. And the goal of this part of the race, is to get as many level clears as they can possibly can within 20 minutes. Now, if a runner game overs, it's okay. You can continue clearing levels. We do not count for actual streaks.
Just beat the levels. Don't worry if you take a death. Don't worry if you want to skip a level. We know that they're not always fair.
Yeah, you can skip as many times as you want, but it really really depends on how much time you will be willing to skip a level, because skipping levels if you skip too many levels, it takes a lot of time, and skipping at least one level does help you narrow down possible clear maps to actually clear, but it also still wastes time. Chaos Legion definitely having a run of his own. He's not willing to stop at any point on his big run here. He's got a full-on 448 clears and not going to be pressing that new game button anytime soon.